Welcome to episode 245 of the official Gamestitch Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Ryan Walton. As always, I'm joined by Dan Reamer.
Good morning, good morning.
It is a good morning.
It is a good morning.
We're here, we're doing the podcast.
I had waffles for breakfast.
Ooh. Now, waffles or pancakes? We probably talked about it before.
Waffles. All day waffles. You?
I'm torn, so I'm a pancake guy.
Okay.
Like, if you set them in front of me, I'd go pancakes. But there's absolutely nothing wrong with a waffle.
I'm waffles. I'm all waffles all the time. I'm not a pancake guy.
You know how when someone's like, hey, you like apples or oranges, you're like, oh, apples are too tart or whatever. Like, you said pancakes or waffles. I say pancakes, but there's no reason. I don't have any beef with a waffle. I love a waffle.
So there's not a real reason you're saying pancakes. It just feels more right to say pancakes.
I'll tell you, in my mind, this is how I do it. I go to the pinnacle, the top of each game. So I'm talking Waffle House waffle.
Okay.
Versus IHOP pancake.
Waffle House waffle.
And I give the slight edge to I think it might be something to do with, like, they put the butter between them for you. Mm-hmm. And just that for some reason I always feel like you get a hotter pancake.
No, see, I disagree because
waffle's cool.
What I like to do with I can never get enough butter on a pancake. But on a waffle, because it's got the little squares, it just pools in there. Oh, it's so good.
Yeah, like there's no wrong answer to the question. But I do love a fluffy, like, blazing hot short stack with butter pats between each layer.
See, and I don't, and that's the thing is you can get, because I do like a little bit of crispiness to my food more so than like that doughy texture. I'm not a fan of that. It's really, really hard to get that on a pancake. At that point, you've probably ruined the pancake. Whereas on a waffle, it just adds to it. It adds to the mystique.
Yeah, so the pancake is one of the few foods that I do like a more doughy feel.
I don't. See, I don't. It feels all slimy and gross in my mouth.
But I also go very light with syrup. I'm not a syrup guy. I use it, but I'm very light. One quick pass. Mm-hmm. Because I don't want soggy. Like, it's a fine line between, like, light and fluffy and soggy. And a waffle has much more time to, like, the syrup can just hang on a waffle. You can pick it up and you can, like, dump the syrup out of the pockets and it's still not even soggy.
Well, and that's the thing is, if a waffle is cooked right, if it was made right, it's all crispy on the outside. In most spots, the parts where you put the butter and the syrup is crispy. So it takes much, much longer to penetrate that, to sog up the dough.
But I think I want the butter penetration, but not the syrup penetration. That's why it's such a fine line. There's a time, like, I need to eat the pancakes while they're still hot. If they've cooled, then the whole thing is gone.
Gotcha. Yeah. It just comes down to personal preference. There is no wrong answer, but
breakfast food is freaking amazing.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Bacon, ham, hash browns.
Corned beef and hash. Mm.
Yeah. Ooh. I'll tell you what. I've talked about it before. Eggs are really losing me.
Eggs. Oh, well, because you got to find new things to do with eggs.
I've never been like a giant egg guy, but I've always been okay with them. But now, if someone's like, "You want eggs?" I'm like, I mean, if it comes with it. But, like, I don't just feel the need for eggs. Now, I like them with hash browns because I like a little bit of runny.
Okay. To make
so it kind of runs over there and touches the hash browns. But usually I don't like my food to touch.
Yeah. See, I don't do runner. I do. When I order eggs, I order them over hard.
Yeah. See, I get on medium side. I like a little bit of run, but I don't want a fucking river like Sunnyside.
Gotcha.
Also known as Easy Side if you don't live in the South.
No, we call them Sunnyside.
Yeah, you're pretty much South, though.
I'm pretty much South?
I would say upstate New York, pretty much the South. It's pretty much the South, with buffalo wings.
Fair enough.
All right.
and snow.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes it dusts here. Sometimes we get a light dusting.
Yeah, when's the last time you had 8 foot dumped on you?
Global warming.
Right. So,
all those fucking aerosol cans, now we can't get 8 inches. So 8 feet's never happening. We get enough to turn the road white, and then we shut down the city.
Right. Which I miss. I will admit I miss that. Because you can always use it as an excuse.
Right. Well, I can't get out of my driveway.
Right.
I'm sure the roads are fine.
Yeah, it's... My road's not fine.
Right.
There's white stuff. Yeah,
that's the ultimate. Like, the argument's over when someone's like, well, the main roads are fine. Well, my road's not. I don't feel safe.
Yeah, because what can they say?
Okay.
What?
Risk it.
Right. If they tell you to risk it and go and something happens, they're so fucked.
If anyone ever told me to risk it, I'm just pulling out of my driveway and driving straight into a tree.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
As quickly as possible.
And before I even call the insurance company or the paramedics, I'm calling that person.
Yeah.
Hey, asshole.
Well, I was coming in as requested by you, and I had an accident.
Yep.
As mandated by you, not even requested.
Mandated, right.
Uh-huh. Also, by the way, all conversations have been recorded.
Uh-huh. And my arm hurts.
It can be. Yeah, right. And I can't look right or left.
Right. I can't feel my legs.
I won't be able to fulfill my job duties for 6 to 8 months.
Yep.
The only thing I could see that would ease any of the pain that I have right now is a big fat ass bank account.
Right. It's possible I'll sue unless we can come to some sort of agreement.
Right. And then it's possible I'll still sue. Man. Maybe we should just give law advice.
Perhaps.
Maybe we should just change the whole dynamic of the show and just do law advice. Do you have to state up front that you don't have any... There's no reason anyone should listen to anything that you say?
Most definitely. That's the first thing that should come out of your mouth.
We're not lawyers. I've seen some Law and Order.
We are not lawyers. I've watched SVU. This is what This is what I can do for you.
Right. I've watched 2 episodes of Bull. So I feel pretty good about my ability to guide you legally through our system.
Huge fan of A Few Good Men, so... I got that going for me.
Listen to a couple of true life podcasts, like true crime podcasts. So send all your legal questions in to Legal Stitch.
Fuck it. GSPQ.
Those in romance, those are our top 2.
Yes, we can definitely help you with your legal woes and your love life. We can work wonders.
Yeah. Like an all-purpose call-in show. Nothing's off limits.
What's that? What was that? Was that Loveline with Dr. Drew and Adam?
Yeah, and Adam Carolla. Yeah.
I feel like we could do that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see why. I mean, Dr. Drew is legitimately a doctor.
Right. Adam Carolla is just a guy.
Legitimately not.
A doctor, right.
But I find myself leaning more towards his advice.
Who, Adam Carolla's?
Yeah,
because he's the normal guy. He's the everyday guy.
Isn't it nice just to get an opinion from someone who's not a fucking professional every now and then?
You're just a regular person. Sometimes, but then in other cases, it's not always good because they actually tried that. Actually, I'm not going to tell the story because it'll make my work look bad, and I don't want to do that.
Yeah, probably don't do that. But I will say, talking to a normal person with things like a relationship advice is probably okay. But if you've got like a rash,
right,
you should probably go consult a professional.
You have some warts forming, something like that.
If there's a growth, right.
Yeah.
If you feel short of breath, maybe chest pain.
That's not go ask Jack, who sits behind the counter works behind the counter at the corner store type of deal.
Hey Jimmy, my chest hurts and I can't see it on my left eye. And he's like, "Oh, you're fine."
Yeah. Here, have a Slim Jim.
Yeah, I had that happen last week. It went away.
Right.
Like that, you should see a doctor for. But like, hey, I think my significant other is cheating on me with my brother. That's the kind of advice that we can answer.
Yes, maybe. I don't know if I can answer that.
I mean, I can't.
I guess the question, who's to decide, really, who ends up deciding which of these ailments requires professional advice and non-professional advice?
I mean, I think you have to decide as a person asking the question. You have to decide.
I mean, it comes down to personal preference on the side of the person who has the questions, I would think.
Right.
Because that's one thing, and see, we have just blown our whole argument out of the water, because obviously what you can't do is go to either a professional or just a schmuck off the street and ask them if they should consult a schmuck off the street or a professional about a problem.
I'll tell you how to decide.
You see the conundrum we've created?
Yeah, I'll tell you how to decide, though.
But you're just a schmuck off the street.
You ask 2 questions. One that would need like a clinical answer, and one that any schmuck off the street could answer.
Okay.
If they answer both, then you're probably talking to the wrong person.
If one of them says, yeah, I don't know.
Then, well, if you're at your doctor and you're like, hey, what's this lump? And he tells you, and then you say, can you teach me how to do a backflip? And he's like, what? No. No. I'm a fucking doctor, okay? But if you're a smuck off the street and he says, what's that lump? And he's like, it's probably fine. Can you teach me how to do a backflip? And he's like, hell yeah. I did a backflip off the, whatever, bleachers in high school.
Yeah, so that's the guy you go to for all your life advice.
Then you know right there, okay, the one is more suited for specifics and the other will answer anything, but you should probably form a second opinion.
Okay.
Or just Google it. WebMD that shit, and then Google every other and watch YouTube videos.
Don't WebMD it, because I guarantee you do that, you're going to be starting your funeral plans, because everything ends up meaning you're going to die if you don't get it looked at.
That's true. Should you make your own funeral plans?
That's a hard question. I know people that do, and it seems odd to me. So I guess for personally me, no. Let someone, just lay out a general, idea of what you want, I want there to be weed, and I don't want to be buried, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I know, having gone through that relatively recently, that's a big part of the stress.
So you feel like it should already all be figured out by? I
think so, because because you think about things like, is this what they would have wanted, or how can I make this the way they would have wanted, or how can
I understand that, but here's my problem with the logic, and this is probably going to come off as cold and dark. As I understand, is this what they would have wanted, blah, blah, blah. But funerals and memorials and wakes are there for the living to cope with their grief. They're not for the person who's passed.
I don't disagree with you, but that's always the question that you think about is would this live up to what they would have wanted?
I guess. I haven't been there in a situation where it's been that close as it has with you, so I don't know. But that's my take on it. Is it's not there. It's there as a coping mechanism for the grieving to grieve.
It just seems like there would be less stress. Plus, you would know that is what the person wanted because that's what they did.
Yes, it would be. But then, are you going to have people who are upset that you're not doing it the way they think it should be done?
I don't think so, because I think people will question the living, but they don't like to question the dead.
Perhaps, especially when it's that close to dead.
Right. So I think they might, if I do something, they might say, yeah, I don't think she would have liked that music, or I don't think he would have liked that music, but if they picked it, you're like, well, they picked it, so clearly they did. And they're like, you're right. Let's just celebrate the life or mourn the death or whatever you do.
Let's just roll with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose that's.
But I also think it's kind of morbid to play on your own.
It's odd, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
Weird.
Like you just run by the mall, pick up a new game, then you shoot by the funeral home and pick out your casket.
Right, and I know, to the point, I know I'm not going to go into specifics on who it is. I will say it's a family member. But they have their obituary written and ready to go.
I can't do that because I don't want to think I've peaked.
So
I have to think that I'm going to add more to mine.
But there's more. Well, this person may be a bit older than us, but so yeah, it's.
But if you want it written in a certain way, there's nothing wrong with that. I guess you have to sit down and really reflect on death, and that's the part that's a little weird.
It's kind of macabre, though.
Yeah,
definitely.
Just a recap. So far, we've covered medical. We've covered general questions. We've covered death,
breakfast,
waffles, and pancakes. Yeah. So that's the kind of podcast this is. That's the broad stroke that we paint with.
That's the cornucopia we bring to you. Ooh,
right.
Look at that word.
Yeah, cornucopia is a good one.
I haven't used that word in forever.
It doesn't get used much anywhere.
And I thought it was perfect for this situation.
Right.
It's a cornucopia of ideas.
Sounds better than a spread.
A spread?
Yeah. Nice spread of topics. Spread brings it back to butter, though.
The first thing I think of is, did I meet the spread?
No. I think a spread of butter.
Is gambling.
Oh, you got a gambling problem?
I do not. I'd like to. I wish I did.
Write into your gambling problems, podcast at Gamestitch.com, and let us know.
Right.
We'll provide you with phone numbers of people who can actually help you.
I do not have it. That's what it makes me think of. I'm not a gambler. Oddly enough.
What's the biggest financial bet you've ever made?
What's that?
What's the biggest financial bet you've ever made?
Like gambling?
Yeah.
Style?
Sure. Casino or with somebody you know, $200 if this happens.
No, I don't do. Probably the biggest I've ever made is probably those. When I was younger, I used to do like where you buy the squares for basketball playoffs and shit.
Oh yeah.
That's probably it. I don't go to casinos. I went to Vegas once, and I did no gambling in Vegas. The only gambling I did was at a local bar, because I had friends who lived there. Was at a local bar in Hendersonville.
Could have been either one. They're both places.
I think it's Henderson. Went to the local bar, laid down a 20, or put a 20 in the machine. You drink free, and I walked out with my $20, feeling pretty good. But
I'm the same way. I like to play penny slots at casinos, which for $60 you can play all night.
Right.
But I look at it as entertainment. I don't look at it as gambling or, I'm not trying to make money. I'm trying to entertain myself.
Right.
And then one time in my life, I played blackjack, $5 a hand, on someone else's $5 to begin with.
Oh, wow. Did you win?
I got up like $200. I pulled my money out, gave him $25, and left.
Nice.
The one and only time I've ever played blackjack in a casino.
Nice.
Yeah. I was like, this is working out. I need to leave.
Exactly.
Because I know my luck. I know it's got a time. Like, it's got a timer. As soon as my luck starts to be good, the timer starts too.
Yes. Without a doubt.
And you can't wear out that welcome. You've got to know when to pull out.
Exactly. Yep.
If I could give you one piece of advice, it's know when to pull out.
Know when to... infamous words of Kenny Rogers. You got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to walk away, know when to run.
Did he die?
Kenny Rogers? I don't think so.
Yeah. In case he did, rest in peace.
I don't think he did.
Rest in peace, Kenny Rogers.
I'm pretty sure he's still around. He had a lot of plastic surgery.
A lot of plastic surgery. Also had a chicken restaurant.
Yes.
Which I miss.
You do?
Yeah, I liked it. I'm trying to see if he's still alive.
He's still alive. I'm telling you, he's still alive. There's not a doubt in my mind he's still alive.
I mean, you're probably right. KennyRogers.com is still a thing.
Well, that doesn't mean anything. Did you find it?
He's got a all in for the gambler Kenny Rogers farewell concert.
By the way, if it's taking you this long, he's alive.
Well, it's hard to tell because if you type in Kenny Rogers dead, a lot of things pop up.
Type in Kenny Rogers dead ?
Kenny Rogers dead or alive?
Yes.
Let's see. Let's get a final verdict.
I'm telling you, he's alive. That's the final verdict.
Kenny Rogers. Yeah, he's 80. He's 79.
Yeah, he's alive, though.
Yeah. Now, do you feel like he's ever been a part of the pop scene? Because it says country, pop, adult, contemporary, soft rock, rock, and jazz.
I would have to say, considering the time frame that Kenny Rogers was popular, yes.
you'll allow it.
Yes, if it was today, no. Today, Kenny Rogers is more country than fucking Jason Bryan or Luke Aldine. So,
I think you just made two babies.
No, I just refuse to call them by their right names.
Why do you have a problem with New Country?
Because I hate them.
Fair enough. This is the official Gamestitch Podcast. These two best friends get together. We talk about video game stuff, sometimes nerd stuff. Sometimes we talk about Kenny Rogers. We wrap it up in this podcast that posts every Monday, 6 a.m. Central Standard Time on podcast services around the world for your amusement
and pleasure.
For your ear entertainment.
Ear entertainment.
Ear entertainment.
No, it's a horrible pun.
That's how you get it, though.
Never again. You need to hone that skill.
Through your wide open ear holes. If you love the podcast, head over to patreon.com/Gamestitch. Toss us a couple bones over there. Support the new things we're doing. Support the old things we've done. But this podcast will always be free.
No charge.
Like the country that we live in.
Yes.
Wrapped it around to patriotism.
I see what you did there.
Yep. 5 stars on iTunes. You can hit us up through email, podcast@gamestitch.com, or on Twitter @game_stitch. Let's jump into some gaming chat talk.
What'd you play this week?
Going on. So we played a little bit of Uncharted survival. What's it called?
Survival. Uncharted Lost Legacy. It's survival mode.
Survival mode. We played a little bit of that, and I can tell you it was a fucking blast.
It was fucking great.
So fun.
We had such a good time.
We streamed it, part of our Gamestitch streams that we've been doing. I think we're up to 4 streams this month. We promised you one. We over-delivered for the first time maybe in the history ever.
Yeah, it's in the history of Gamestitch, without a doubt.
We over-delivered. I'll tell you, it's been a while in my normal life that I've over-delivered also. So it's nice just to over-deliver.
Yeah, I can't. This may be the first time.
Yeah.
And I got some years on you, so.
Right.
I wouldn't plan on you over delivering anytime soon.
And I'll tell you, the month ain't over.
No, we could do more. I want to do more.
There's a chance that you'll see even more. If you missed them live, go check them out. They're on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Gamestitch, and we've got Everybody's Golf. We've got Knack 2. We've got the Battle Royale Fortnite mode, and now we've got Uncharted multiplayer up.
Mm-hmm. God, Uncharted, that was so much fun.
It was really good. If you haven't watched it, you should check it out. That mode is really cool.
You know what I felt about it is as much as we've played Fortnite, we play Rocket League together. Everybody's Golf we play together. I don't know that I've had that much fun in a multiplayer mode in a very long time. Go ahead.
I felt like we rode the roller coaster of emotions.
It was because the last time I think I felt like that was probably when we first played Rocket League. And
right.
I guess it's more of a first time thing.
It was still different though. We started out confused. Then we found a little success. Then we got frustrated. It was just so much of a.
I feel like that was the best part of it.
Yeah, it really was. I don't, because each wave is different. We're like, we don't know what to do, or let's try this spot. No, that spot didn't work. Your spot was stupid. Let's try my spot. No, your spot didn't work. It was stupid too. Let's try this spot. This spot kind of works. Let's try it again.
You stay there and I'll run around.
Right. Right. So that eventually that's where you get to where you're like, I don't know, fucking just flail around on the ground.
But all of it was all part of it. Each time we lost, we adapted our strategy, and that was what was cool about it is we needed a strategy to beat it.
Yeah, I think so. I think you need. So it's supposed to be 3 people. You can do it with 2. We did it with 2 because we were on baby mode, and we definitely had to work together. We tried it not working together.
And that was a disaster.
In our final plan, you'll see if you go back and watch that video, we actually
end up next to each other.
We work together separately in a way that kind of comes all the way back around to full teamwork.
Yep.
In a very neat way.
Because that's what was cool was the key was You found a spot that worked great for you. The problem is we needed to draw enemies away from your spot so that they wouldn't overwhelm you. So I just ran around the map shooting shit.
Right.
While you hung out in your spot. But that also allowed me to scope out where everybody was at, because what you can see on the map is limited to a certain area around where you are. So you didn't always know where they were coming from. You know, what direction they were going to come from.
Right.
Well, by me running around the outskirts of the map, not only am I drawing fire away from you, but I'm also able to scope out the rest of the landscape and let you know where they're going to be coming from and allow you to make adjustments as necessary.
Right. Check that video out. If you're in the community and you already own Lost Legacy, let us know. We could use a third threesome. If you don't have that game and you're in the community, don't go buy it to play with us. But if you already have it, hit us up. Even though it's a great game. It's a great game. Great single player, great multiplayer. But if you already have it, hit us up. We'll play it. Because I think we're gonna at least try these out, even if we don't stream them. Because there's new levels. We got a new level.
Yeah, I know. I almost played it last night without you.
That would have been crappy.
But then I was like, no. Time to over-deliver.
Right. Again. Time to continue over-delivering.
And other than that, did you play anything else?
Not much. It's been a weird week. I've had a lot going on at work. I'm actually was in the process of applying and accepting a different position at the same place I work.
Yay, congratulations. Thank
you. And it's just been like a lot of stress. Like, should I do it? Should I not do it? You know, what do I need to make? You know, it's a lateral move, but there's a lot that goes along with it, and it's just a different channel. And you know, it just stressed me out a lot. Like, I've been tired and irritated and just, I don't know. Everything automatically felt better once I made my decision, and I hope to play more. So I played Rocket League some. We've struggled to play well as a team. I usually play with Howard and Pat, man. We've struggled to play as a team. But I'll tell you, the last two times we played, we really got together, especially the last time.
Who, the three of you?
Oh, yeah. So the two, Howard and I played, and we destroyed everybody in twos. Then Pat Man jumped on, and we had an awesome run in threes.
Nice.
I just feel like everything was finally starting to click again. See, I typically play a more aggressive strategy, which causes me to run into my teammates and take away shots that they might potentially have.
That's true.
So I decided to dial that back because I'm sure that's irritating. What's happened when I dial back is I add nothing to the team.
Gotcha.
Zero. If I sit back and wait, I get scored on all the time. I don't take shots that no one else takes because they're probably used to me going and taking them. Mm-hmm. It just did not flow well with the team because I just basically was just a dead weight. I was just driving around doing nothing. But I was trying to be a good teammate.
Right.
But it did not work at all. It threw everybody else in some sort of weird funk, too.
Well, because you've decided to make that change 2 years after the game came out. 3 years after the game came out.
In fairness, though, I said I'm going to try to take a little more laid-back approach and stop ramming into everybody and taking shots.
That's fair. I'll give you that. Yes, you did.
But it did not work. Last time we played, I got way more aggressive. Right back to ramming ass. Right back to taking shots. Messing my teammates up. But we won.
I guess in the end, that's all that matters, isn't it, you glory hog?
See, I don't know, because I'm of the stance that that's not all that matters.
Right, you should be having fun. Is everyone else having fun when you're smashing them in the ass?
Yeah, they're having fun when we win.
Okay.
But I'm like, hey, winning's not everything.
Right, but they get mad if they don't win, so fuck it.
Right.
Do what you can to make them happy. Okay.
So I don't know what to do. I'm torn. I want to grow as a team, but at the same time, I don't want to make anybody feel like they're not having fun
I feel like
because of...
At this point, growth is probably not an option.
So you say just ram ass. Ram ass and win.
Yeah, if that's what's going to make your teammates happy, they obviously don't want to.
Ram ass and post W's. I got you.
You know, they're not... if they're not into the learning curve and upping their skill to get better and the ups and downs, you know...
I would say it's not that they're not into it. It's just that I don't think that they see my vision and that that's the way forward.
Okay.
I think there's things we could fix, but I need to be aggressive. It fits my play style. It fits my play style in every game. This is a sports game and I'm aggressive, but if you've ever played any game with me, I'm always aggressive.
Yes. That's not true.
It doesn't matter racing guns.
That's not true. In survival mode that we just talked about, you hung on a rope.
Yeah, that was the very final stage because my aggressiveness was immediately making it in for me. That's called adapting to the situation.
Adapt and overcome.
But I don't have as much fun hanging from a rope. I just found an exploit that I felt like worked.
I don't know if that's an exploit.
It kind of is because the choker guys
can't get
they
to
glitch out and they morph between the sides, so they just constantly like morph back and forth, and you can pop shot them each time they morph.
Okay.
So there's something weird that happens with the game when that happens. But I just think that I'm a more aggressive. I get bored when I sit back and do anything, which causes me to miss goals and stuff because I'm not in it. Mm-hmm. My head's not in it. I don't think it's about the spotlight. Like, I don't care about winning, like scoring like that. I don't care if I don't score and my teammate scores 5 times. It's fine. But I also don't like to just sit there.
Okay. I get that.
But winning felt great the other night. It felt great to move up. I'm actually ranked higher than I've ever been ranked in 3s right now. So I feel like we're moving the right direction. But we didn't get to play much this week. So maybe this coming week we will.
Yeah, I played a little bit with you, but we didn't play.
And see, I was still in the mixture of getting it right.
Mm-hmm.
I think that might be the night that I got everything together finally, or maybe it was the next night. I don't remember.
Well, let's see. Well, Patman would have had to get on late then.
Yeah, Patman always gets on late.
Because I went.
If you're listening, Patman, get on earlier.
I went to bed at like midnight. So
he gets off of work 11 my time, which is 12 his time.
Also, yeah, he really is getting on late then.
He eats a little din, and then he jumps on.
So he's getting out of work when I get off, or when I go to bed.
Mm-hmm. Or maybe you're getting off. Who knows? I can't speak to that.
It could be.
Right.
Maybe sometimes.
Yeah, can't speak to that.
Booyah.
But yeah, and I played just a tiny bit of Mario plus Rabbids this morning before the podcast. I found the sweet spot with that game, which is jump on, play 2 or 3 battles, and jump off, and it's fucking great. So good.
Well, that's good. I'm glad you're
play the game for 2 hours. You're like, I don't want to do this. But jump on, play for 10, 15 minutes, and then the next day jump on 10, 15 minutes. That game is absolutely perfect. It's probably going to get hard at some point. I'll probably have to hang it up.
Probably.
But as I get older, the more I realize I don't need to prove anything with my difficulty level.
Oh, I never had to.
I've never been like a crushing guy, but I play on normal. I don't need baby mode.
Yeah, no, I will play on baby mode.
Yeah, I will too.
But I can usually do normal. Anything more than that, I don't need to do because it becomes not fun for me anymore.
I'll start on normal, but if I feel like I don't see a way out for me on normal, fuck it, I'll just drop it down. I do not care.
Oh yeah, I mean we've talked about it before how we feel about that, so I'm not going to go into it again. But I want it to be a relaxing hobby. I don't want to get angry.
Mm-hmm. Games are better if you. I think the reason most of us play games are for either an escape or to relax.
Yeah.
Have fun, and if you're not doing that. It doesn't matter what game you're on. If you're not doing that, it's not a good experience.
Exactly. You know, there's people out there that are ultra competitive and want to do that. Hey, good for you. Awesome. Go for it, bro. Whatever works for you. Me? No, I'm over here playing in narrative story mode where there's no combat and everybody just talks at me.
Right. Yeah, I'd rather have a conversation about, which dishwasher liquid we like best than to sit in total silence and focus on the game. That's not fun to me.
Right. Exactly.
So, this is a PSA for you. Let's jump into it. Did you play anything different?
Yes and no. I jumped back into a little bit more of Fortnite. I played a couple of messages there. Get my bearings in it again.
Hey, before you move on, I played Battle Royale, finished 5th.
Yeah, I know. You told me.
Yeah, but I didn't tell the world.
Oh, okay.
It really wasn't for you. Now continue. I just want them to track my progress on where I'm at with that. Finished 5th.
Gotcha. I haven't played it yet, but I am planning on it shortly here. And after talking to Garrett a little bit this week, I got back into the Division. I'm playing it on the Xbox One now, starting over a brand new character.
You guys are going to try to hook up and play together.
We are going to try to hook up and play together. I'm at level 5. I just hit level 5, Garrett, so I'm getting there.
Where's he at? I thought he was starting a new character also.
He is, but he already had a character that he'd started between 5 and 7. So I want to be at least 6 before I jump in with them. So,
I mean, it makes sense, yeah.
But, I'm enjoying it. I had forgotten how much I enjoyed this game. The story behind it, the idea behind it. So, it was kind of fun to get back into it. I mean, there's a lot I've forgotten about it. Because after I played through the story, everything I did was endgame. But there's definitely a curve in me learning the buttons and all that again. But yeah, I'm going to be ready to go, Garrett. So, you keep an eye on your Twitter there, because I'll be popping and let you know who's at it. Then that's it.
Get it popping. Get it popping.
Get it popping.
Get it popping. Popping.
Puppy?
I got to play my Xbox. I got to play. I think Recore is what I want to play.
You going to get the new Super Ultra Definitive Edition of a game that reviewed horribly?
I mean, if you have the old version, it automatically updates that other stuff.
Oh. I've actually thought about playing it as well.
Yeah, I want to play it. My poor Xbox just sits there.
Yeah, it was kind of nice to turn mine back on and pop through everything. And you know what occurs to me? I don't know why when I'm playing on the Xbox, but we can stream from that too.
We could if we played it.
So I may do some of that.
Yeah.
Do something. I don't know. You should get Quantum Break and play that through.
It just refuses to go down in price.
It does. They're proud of it.
Yeah, so you gotta get off that Xbox. Sell that thing to me for 20 bones. $19.99.
You should just look.
Not a penny more.
Just look for it digitally.
Nah. You know I like owning something.
I know you do.
I want to rent my game. It's never truly yours, man. I want to hold a disc. I'm so scared of the future.
I know you are.
I'm terrified of it.
I know you are.
There's some times where we switch games and everybody's like, "You want to play this?" And they're like, "Yeah, all right, I'm starting it up." My fat ass has to get up and go over there.
Yeah, go get this.
And I think to myself, like, God, why do I put myself through this? But then when I look at it at like a full like stack of games sitting there, I'm like, this is why.
I get it. That's how I am with movies.
Yeah.
You know, I get it. Streaming's the future. Digital's the future. But I love looking at my shelves of Blu-rays and DVDs and be like, fuck yeah, look at that shit.
They just look so good.
I get it, man. I get it.
And the way the case feels when you first take the plastic off, it's like a kind of slick that'll never happen again.
Oh, no, that's what I like about movies now is they all come with these awesome slip covers.
Yeah.
And you have to be very careful and make sure no one else puts a slip cover on, because if they do, they're going to bend that fucking plastic that goes around the...
Oh, yeah, they'll ruin it.
Yep, so... Nope,
just toss it in the trash after they're done.
No, just leave it. Just leave it. I'll get it.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Actually, if you'll just put everything down, take 2 steps back, that'd be great.
That's right.
So let's jump in our news.
Sure.
We've streamed it out. We've talked about it. You haven't played it yet, but our big story this week is some Fortnite Battle Royale cross PUBG drama.
Yeah, PUBG is earlier this week. Basically, I can't find the guy's name now.
It's C.H. Kim.
Yeah, C.H. Kim said this week that he was considering legal action against Epic because they advertised Fortnite Battle Royale mode very similarly. Well, first of all, they used the PUBG name, was saying basically they said if you like PUBG, you'll like this, so the C.H. Kim threatened to take legal action because of the similarities and because of using their name without asking.
So C.H. Kim, VP and executive producer over at Bluehole, the ones responsible for PUBG, he backtracked a little bit on his initial stance. Mm-hmm. He tried to backtrack a little bit. Let me tell you where I think the problem is. They also said the game was like H1Z1. They said it was inspired by games like PUBG and H1Z1 King of the Kill.
Well, how did he, first start with how did he walk it back?
So he walked it back by saying his problem is not that someone made a Battle Royale game. People are going to make Battle Royale games. They don't own Battle Royale games. They're not the first or the last to make one.
Mm-hmm.
The way that he didn't rein it back was it was still wrong of Epic to do so. And we'll tell you his thinking behind that is because Epic, obviously makers of the Unreal Engine, is conveniently what PUBG is running on.
Mm-hmm.
So PUBG licensed the right to use Unreal,
Yes.
pays them royalties. They know things other people don't know before the game comes out. And then you see a very, very similar version of their game come out by Epic, again, owners of Unreal.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a weird, is my idea safe if the people who they have to go to Epic and say, hey, we're having issues with getting this to work. Can you guys help us?
Right.
Maybe it's not in Unreal's or Epic's, maybe it's not in their best interest to get it working if they can make it work in Fortnite. Now, clearly, we have no signs of that happening.
Right. We've seen nothing that leans that way.
But it could, and I think that's where CH Kim is kind of scratching his head. And like, Epic didn't even reach out to us before they did this. We didn't talk about it. Certainly they used our name to try to get some of our community over to them. It just seems messy. Should companies that have engines also make games? Should they stay away from? I don't think it's fair to say they should stay away from that type of game because they have a indie developer or a developer who's making one like that.
Mm-hmm.
But you're drunk if you think Battle Royale is not a direct ripoff of PUBG,
which is a direct ripoff of H1Z1 King of the Hill.
Yes, I mean, there's some things it does a little different.
Well, there's some things Fortnite does a little different. You don't have free look. You don't have vehicles. You can build.
Yeah, but it's fucking real the same, though. It's close. I don't have a problem with how close the games are. I do understand where it gets a little sticky, though. It's a little weird in that there's a real chance that Epic knows things about PUBG before anyone else. Maybe it's not the same people, but are they, do they have an internal mailing list that maybe would like to know some of these things?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know, but I don't know that one developing an engine, I've seen a lot of shitty games on Unreal. So I don't know that them developing an engine gives them a leg up on anything. It's how you utilize the engine. I don't know that that's a fair part of the equation.
No, I guess it's the stance that they could probably see everything. They can see their code. They can see all of it. Like, they know what the bones are of that game, and they've probably had to help along the way.
Yeah, but are they seeing a whole picture, though? I mean, do you honestly believe that they have the time and the resources?
No, I honestly believe the people that work at Epic play a lot of Fortnite and a lot of H1Z1 and are like, we'd love to make this.
Yeah.
I honestly believe that's what it is, but I also see where it's a little weird situation because, if you're helping me make a new brand of soda and you're the guy that bottles it for me,
mm-hmm.
and the soda comes out and does awesome, and the next thing I know, you've got one that's just like it, tastes exactly like it, and I'm like, yeah, but you helped with mine. Like, you tasted mine.
Well, I mean, Fortnite isn't... Again, it's not exactly what it is. It's similar.
It's very, very similar, though.
Castlevania and Metroid are very similar.
And I just don't...
I don't think being similar warrants any sort of theft.
Yeah, but they're closer to identical than they are to similar.
Well, every Battle Royale game is going to be.
It's everything, though. The fact that you're in a level up front before it actually starts, the fact that you parachute in,
mm-hmm.
the wall is even blue.
Actually, don't you glide in?
It's the same fucking thing.
Gliders, if you ask somebody who hang glides, they're going to disagree wholeheartedly.
Well, you jump out and fly down as if you're going to parachute, and instead of popping a parachute, you pop a thing that works just like a parachute that they call a glider.
Right.
It's the exact same thing as a parachute. It just looks different, and they call it something different, but it doesn't work like a hang glider, really. It works like a parachute would.
Again, I go back, there's no vehicles. There's the building aspect. It's different enough to be considered different in my eyes.
I've not played PUBG. I'm going to say close to 15 hours of gameplay.
I've watched PUBG, yes.
And I've played a fair amount of Battle Royale and Fortnite. And I would say they are much closer to identical than they are to similar. Those games are fucking close.
Yeah, I mean, you could say the same thing about Gears of War and Mass Effect. They're both cover shooters.
See, I wouldn't say the same thing. Like watching both of those, I would not say the same. Watching and playing these, I would say that.
But once you break it down to the lowest common denominator, they're both third-person cover shooters.
Yeah, but it's like saying, well, you're a guy, so they're the same because you're a guy in this one. Like it's more than that. This game is.
I don't know because I think the thing that differentiates those, and I've talked about this before a long time ago, about why I did not like these multiplayer style modes like this, because that's what helps you differentiate between those sorts of things, like with Mass Effect and Gears. It's the stories, it's the characters, it's that makes it different. You don't have any of that to differentiate. All you have is people shooting each other. There's nothing to differentiate from that.
These games are.
That's why these games. I mean, H1Z1 King of the Hill. It's people trying to kill each other. There's no story. There's very limited ways you can differentiate from that. There is only so much you can do.
But even King of the Kill feels different to me.
See, it doesn't to me. To me, it looks. PUBG and King of the Kill look almost the same.
They
with the exception of characters, Friday the 13th and Dead by Daylight look the same to me.
I would say those games are really close too.
But nobody's bitching about that.
Not like this. But also, those games, neither one of those games have seen the success that PUBG has seen.
And both of
PUBG in early access has sold 10 million copies.
Right.
It's on a different level. It's we talked about it being the most concurrent stream game. Going over 1 million, not more than Dota 2. But still,
right.
Currently. But I don't know. There's, I would call myself relatively invested in PUBG and watching it. These games feel like their bones feel the same.
Well,
that's where I see what you're saying. Okay, you can build. Well, you can build in Fortnite, but you can put scopes on your gun in PUBG, and you can in this. But their bones feel exactly the same.
All human bones are exactly the same.
Yeah, and I'd say most humans are pretty close. But not all games are.
But there are differences.
I would be uncomfortable if I was Bluehole in this. I would not feel good about this. I would not feel good about the people that have access to everything that is PUBG, came out with a game that's so similar to it, and then drop my name in it. I wouldn't be cool with it.
Okay, so what you're telling me is you think the easy answer for Epic then is to say, okay, you know what? Since they're so upset about this, we're not going to let anybody have our engine anymore. We're going to be the only ones to use it.
I think the answer is maybe we separate these two things.
Separate them how?
Maybe the people that make games are not the people that make engines.
Well, now you're talking about. I mean, that would have to be just a choice that these companies make. You can't mandate that.
Well, you can't mandate any of this, but I think maybe that's the answer. It's a conflict of interest to say, what a great idea, we could do that because you're seeing it, but it's not your great idea.
See, I don't know the ins and outs of this. When you license an engine, I would assume that Epic doesn't have like that full blueprint to look off of and to be able to read that code. I don't think that's how it works when you license anything.
So looking at this interview, the problem that they have is that they have to go to Unreal when they need help.
Right.
When something can't work. So they're not giving them everything, but when things don't work or when things are working, they may have questions about how to do things in Unreal. And now they have to start worrying if they're even getting the best advice because Unreal stands to benefit, or Epic stands to benefit from their mode being better.
I mean, that's what America's built on is that type of idealism, those kind of ideas. I mean, that's what we do. That's capitalism. I mean, you can if you don't like it, you can always go find another engine. Yeah, I realize it's going to cost you a lot of money, but you can't just.
Are they just going to do it too, though?
Are you just going to tell them? Well, no.
Is that where we're at? We have to make our own engines, or we have to risk someone jacking what we do? Is that where it's at, where you have to make your own, or you have to take that risk and roll the dice?
Well, first of all, I think we have to figure out what got jacked.
I don't know that anything got jacked other than we played this game a lot, and then when we went and made one, trying to make it totally different, it wasn't that different when we finished.
Again,
I'm sure they didn't set out to copy.
Again, we have to disagree.
Yeah, I don't think they set out to copy it, but as I'm someone who would love to make a game, if I can't imagine if I was on Bluehole's side of this, how I would feel. They don't have other things to make money on. They don't have other options.
Okay.
And you see something with who you relied on, you went with them, you didn't have to go with them, and you just feel kind of backstabbed by it. Like, I get it. I would feel that way too.
Okay, well, I mean, in a morally perfect world, what you're saying makes perfect sense. But if you take the rainbows and unicorns out of it, we live in the real world. And that's the way the world works.
Yeah, I don't think you have to give them a pass just because they don't have to do it. I mean, they don't have to do anything.
Right.
But I don't think they deserve a pass for it either. And I like Fortnite, and I'm going to continue to play the Battle Royale mode because at the end of the day, I just want to have fun with the game. So I'm not involved in this.
Well, here's another.
I do see where they're coming from.
Here's another thing, Bluehole, CH Kim. Did it ever occur to you that maybe if you had kept your mouth shut and not blew this into such a big thing, not as many people may have known about this mode in Fortnite? I mean, basically, you gave them free advertising. I feel like the marketing department, PR department, didn't think that through. Because they have. One of the first things they said when they talked about it, oh, well, their mode's free and ours is early access and it costs money. Theirs is going to be free. Well, okay. Well, then, if it's so close, I guess I'll go try that.
Well, who knows how that'll work anyways. I mean, they still don't have a date for the free-to-play version of Fortnite.
Right.
But I can see how if there was a free-to-play version of your game that was almost your game, how it would significantly impact business. Especially when they're planning on bringing Battle Royale over to PUBG over to consoles. It just feels gross in a way that it doesn't have to be. I would have liked to have seen Epic say, you know what, it's very similar, but we went to Bluehole. We talked to them. We ensured, we were there to say, hey, one has nothing to do with the other. We're here to support you no matter what, because they make money off of that too. They make royalties off of PUBG. Mm-hmm. It just sounds like it was one of those things that could have been handled a little better, because if they go to them and say that, and Bluehole says, fuck you, it's fine. They tried. They don't owe them anything. They don't have to do that. But they tried. But for Epic to have not reached out to them, to have not tried, and just said, oh, if you like this, you'll like this. Well, I don't have a problem with them saying that part. I don't have a problem with them saying, if you like PUBG and H1Z1, you'll like this. You will.
We don't know the ins and outs of it. It's possible something like that happened.
Well, it seems pretty clear that did not happen based off of comments.
Yeah, Epic has said nothing about this. They're just sitting back and letting...
I don't see Bluehole saying they never contacted us if they did. I just don't... That's not the words you use if they've contacted you.
Well, I mean, that's not necessarily true.
I don't think they've.
I mean, if you have that kind of faith in Bluehole, why don't you have the kind of faith in Epic that they're not gonna tell them that they're not going to help if they have trouble with the engine?
I don't think it's a sticky situation for Bluehole. They just made a game.
Yeah.
The work here would be on the part of Epic, not on the part of Bluehole.
I don't know that I agree with that. But
let us know what you think. Podcast at Gamestitch.com, or hit us up on Twitter at @game_stitch. Like I said, still going to play this game. Still want to play PUBG when it comes to consoles.
Yeah.
Excited about both.
Yeah. I like Fortnite.
H1Z1, not really my thing.
Yeah, no, mine either. But I don't know that I'll play PUBG when it comes.
I really want to.
Because it doesn't, I don't know.
Speaking of Fortnite, briefly, Xbox One and PS4 could play together.
Yeah.
That's right. You heard me right. Xbox One and PS4 in what Epic is calling a configuration issue that has now been corrected.
I love it.
Right.
Fuck that. That was a test to see if they could do it.
Yeah, I'll tell you what that was. That was a whoops. We're sorry. What do you think, though?
Mistakes were made.
Several people showcase this. You could see videos and screenshots of people playing together, PS4, Xbox One, and they confirmed it with that statement. My favorite part of all this, we've talked about the Rocket League drama. We've talked about Sony not wanting to let people play together.
Yeah.
Because they're protecting your innocence in Minecraft. We've talked about all those things. My favorite part is Phil Spencer, though.
I love this guy.
Who has been clear the whole time that everybody should play together. Now, again, I will say that it's easier for Microsoft, who has sold half as many consoles, to say everyone should play together.
Right.
I do agree that it would be easier for him to say that. But his statement, someone asked him on Twitter what he thought about it, about them doing it and then taking it down, and he said, I would have liked to seen them leave it on. Nothing more, nothing less, just a quick, they could have left it on as far as we're concerned. I think that would have been pretty cool.
Yeah, I think you're going to... This was a test. This was not a whoops. This was a test to see if it could be done. Sony's got to keep an eye on this stuff, man, because they can't not allow this for too much longer. There will be a witch hunt.
But do you understand what I'm saying? Where it would be way easier and more beneficial for Microsoft to be able to play with PS4.
I do understand that. I do.
Sony's got to get out of the way of like trying to beat Microsoft, though.
Yes, and that's the problem.
You already have. Now get out of your own way and let people play together.
Let people play together. You know, PS4 constantly talks about the consumer. And now they're saying fuck the consumer.
Right.
I don't understand why. Sony, I understand it's. I don't know that crossplay is a console seller or a console killer. So I don't understand what that problem is.
I don't know. It's weird.
You know, it baffles me why. And Sony's reasoning for shit just blows my mind. You know, we're worried about the security of people. Well, you didn't give a fuck 6 years ago when my fucking account got stolen for 12 days.
Allegedly.
Well, I couldn't fucking get on, could I? So it was fucking somewhere. So yeah, their arguments don't work for me. Sony's it has to get out of their own way, and they have to. It's time. You know, they, like I said, they talk about the consumer. Okay, well, now you have a chance to back it up. If you want to hold on to the trust you've gained, this is a step you need to take.
Right, they should just stand up and say, we would love for the best-selling current-gen system to play with the others. Mm-hmm. We would love that.
Yep.
We want to play with Switch. We want to play with Xbox because this is where the bulk of the gamers are.
Yes.
Brag about yourself, but let people do it. There's no reason, okay, you got an Xbox, I got a PS4. We're not fucking mortal enemies.
Yeah, I don't understand the thinking behind it. I mean, how is allowing crossplay... It almost feels like they think that, well, if we allow crossplay, that's going to cause a lot of people to go out and buy Xboxes. Right. Which that just doesn't make any sense.
If anything, I think people are more likely to not go buy an Xbox if they can play with their Xbox friends.
Right. Exactly.
Because they have a way to do that already on their PS4.
Exactly.
Now, does it work the other way? Yes, but there are far less people with Xbox Ones who might go buy a PS4 than with PS4s that might go buy an Xbox One.
Mm-hmm. But you know what it does?
Failure.
You know what it does is both ways. You know, the gaming industry is only going to, especially with the console industry, and physical software, that's only going to stay as strong as all of those involved in it.
Right.
You need everybody to have some form of success.
I was talking about a friend of mine. I was talking VR, asking me questions about PSVR and where the AAA games are, and I'm like, look, the only way you can get a AAA game is if HTC and Oculus play nice with Sony,
right,
and vice versa. Like you can't afford to make a AAA game that's only going to sell 1 million copies max.
Right.
You just can't. As a studio, that's the best way I can think of to go out of business.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
You can't function that way. So exclusives for VR need to go fuck themselves.
Yep.
There's no reason for it. You're not helping anyone when you make a PSVR exclusive. And even Sony should not be making, like, Farpoint should not be exclusive to the PS4. That's dumb.
Right. That should be available on Vive, whatever.
Exactly, because I want more games like on that. I want games like that. I want stuff to come out on the Vive and say, look, we're coming out on everything.
Yep.
Obviously, I know those are not all the same, so there are some differences. But fucking make it work, because that's what you need to be able to sell 3 million copies.
Right.
So it's just, I feel the same way about this. Like, don't limit the people that can play and enjoy the game together, and the people who can, I try to play. Now I know it's probably much harder for me to be able to play with a Vive on my PSVR because they're a different beast.
Yeah.
But figure something out, because if I get online to play a game and there's 3 people playing it online, that game's no good to me online.
Exactly, and it's just like, and that's the thing. It's in a certain sense it's cross promotion, I guess, and that might be what Sony's afraid of. But Sony has the better exclusives. So when you got a PS4 guy talking to a Halo or a Xbox guy, and they're playing Rocket League together, and they're talking about, oh, I'm on the Xbox, oh, I'm on the PS4, oh, have you played? Oh, I like Halo. Oh, you need to try Uncharted. I firmly believe that PS4's exclusives are better than what I've seen for the Xbox One, for any of the Microsoft exclusives, particularly when it comes to multiplayer.
When Rocket League first got announced for Switch, I was like, yes. And then I was talking to, I forget who it even was, and they said, yeah, but you're going to have anybody to play with on the Switch?
Right.
Boom. Psyonix instantly solved the problem for me. Yeah, you're going to have everybody on PC and Xbox One to play with.
Yep.
Boom. Don't worry about it. That was a real concern. We fixed it.
Right.
You're going to play with the same people you're already playing with.
Exactly.
It's just, this benefits, you're right, this doesn't benefit, well, in some cases it does benefit. Like, this benefits Nintendo too, but for the most part, this benefits the consumer.
Yeah, that's all. That's really the only people that it helps.
But if you were somebody who said, I may not buy Rocket League for the Switch because I'm afraid there's no player base there, now you go spend the money on it. No need to worry. They put the player base there for you. Yep. That's one of the best things about Rocket League is when you get on at any given point, there's 100,000 people online.
And you
find a match in 12 seconds. Yep. Could there be 200,000 people online if you let us all play together?
Yeah.
Could I find a match in 2 seconds instead of 5?
Yeah.
Could I play with talent that's more where I'm at because there's a bigger pool to take from?
Exactly.
There's a lot of things, but Psyonix has been one of those companies that has been beating the drum since the very beginning that everyone should play our game together.
Yeah, it does nothing but benefit the consumer. Sony needs to get gone.
Hop down from that pedestal.
With their antiquated. I think it's an antiquated idea at this time. Now.
Yeah, I agree. So. Speaking of failure to launch, Battleborn. Poor Battleborn.
Oh, this game has taken a beating, huh?
So, as of this week, there will be no more Battleborn. And there's no planned content after the fall update. So, like, once it's the update that they showed off at, I think, E3. Anyway, somewhere they showed it. After this game went free to play at PAX West, they showed off the fall update.
Yeah.
That's it for Battleborn. They
pulled the plug, essentially.
Yeah.
No more updates.
It's 15 months after launch, and they're like, look, it ain't working.
That's tough.
A lot of people said, "Oh, Overwatch killed Battleborn," and I would say some
Battleborn had 3 weeks head start,
and they're both hero shooters, I would say, but Battleborn much more leans into the MOBA thing.
Oh, one copied the other.
Yeah. Well, there was a lot of that talk too when they were coming out. A lot of talk like that, but Overwatch has done everything right. Where I would say, Gearbox and Battleborn didn't. The lore didn't stick. The story didn't stick. That's one of the things people love about. I hear people who play Overwatch talk about the characters like they're people they know.
Yeah,
It just I don't even know a fucking character in Battleborn. It went free to play. They gave them a slight boost, but barely. I mean, the game has not done well. They have said they plan to keep the servers on for the foreseeable future, which is the right thing to do. But this sucks. I mean, they tried to do something different. Gearbox wanted to step out and not make another Borderlands, and I get it, but sometimes people just want more Borderlands.
Well, I mean, you've said the same thing about Telltale. At least they made an effort.
Yeah, that's true. I do respect the effort. It is unfortunate.
Yeah, it didn't have to... it didn't have to necessarily set records, but it would have been nice to see Gearbox be successful at something that wasn't Borderlands.
Yeah, I agree. I think from there I want to transition. I don't want to go full like happy stories, maybe strange stories.
Mm-hmm.
So, the Duke, the original Xbox controller, the spaceship. We all remember it.
Yep.
I feel like people fondly look back when they think about it now.
The big hamburger original Xbox controller.
But at the time, you were like, what is this?
Why don't my hands fit on it?
This pizza pie that you want me to hold while I play. But I know, just from talking to gamers, the thing they really wanted is to have this controller back. We saw some images of it earlier this year.
We did.
But it's officially back.
Boom.
Seamus Blackley, one of the designers of the original Xbox, has led the charge to recreate the Duke in all its glory for Xbox One, and manufacturer Hyperkin has finally done it.
Nice.
It's back. No, we don't have any kind of price yet.
No.
It looks like the updated original Xbox controller. It's got a little tiny screen in the middle where the Xbox logo was. It's got a breakaway 9-foot cord now.
Mm-hmm. It's pretty cool looking.
But if you've ever wanted the original Xbox controller on Xbox One or PC,
you can get it.
You're in luck. Yeah, it's happening. It's a weird story.
It's who'd have thought that they would bring, of all the things to bring back, it would be that controller.
Of all what I'm going to call bad ideas, maybe this is a great idea, though.
I mean, when that controller was first released, it took so much shit from
because you had to call your buddy over to hold the rest of it for you.
from gamers, from critics, from
just the design standpoint itself.
Yeah, everything.
Designers were let down.
And yet there's so many people that want it back.
Right. Weird.
And now they're bringing it. So it's cool. I may get one. I don't know.
Really?
I have fond memories of that original.
I'm going to go ahead and not get one. I'm somebody who hasn't even... I still don't like the Xbox One controller, which I know is the best version of the Xbox controller.
I like the Xbox One controller. See, PS4 controllers just feel so flimsy. They seem like they're so easy to break.
That's because you strangle them. You weaken your plastic.
I don't anymore.
Your plastic starts out really tough.
I don't anymore.
And then over the months and months of punishment.
It feels like I really could, though. It feels like I could smash the shit out of this other one if I wanted to, out of the Xbox controller, and it would like hold up.
The Switch controller really feels that way to me, like it's really tough.
Yeah? Smash it on the ground to make sure.
Our friend Thomas has a controller that he punishes. Like he's got an angry controller.
Yeah, he's got a separate one.
That's like broken, I guess, already, that he just...
Keeps next to him to smash?
To kick its ass, yeah.
Yeah, that's a great idea, actually.
It really is a pretty good idea.
Yeah, I don't really get like that much anymore, so...
Yeah.
Next
story.
What's the next story?
This one might get you that way. The Witness finally launches on iPhone and iPad, and it's $9.99.
Yeah.
This is Jonathan Blow's game. It's been out for quite a while now. This has been a long time coming. They first showed an image of it running on an iPad back in 2012.
Yeah.
So I feel like most of us have understood this game would eventually get there. I think the price point is what has most people confused right now.
Well, I don't know that it's confused. I mean, for a tablet game, that's
high.
That's still high, but it's probably the best they could do, price-wise.
Right. But you remember how people lashed out at Super Mario Run for being $9.99?
I do, and then bought it in droves. So
that's right.
So fuck them.
So it came out on PS4 and PC in January 2016. It's $40.
And yes, it's $40 when it came out, and that's the part that I'm pissed off. This is supposedly the same game. And then
January this year, it came out on NVIDIA Shield, and then in March it came out for Mac, $20 price point.
And that's the part that pisses me off, because a lot of times if you go to try to get it, you're still getting it for $30 or $40.
Yeah. On sale, I see this game for $30.
Yeah, that's the part, because this is supposedly across all these platforms. It's the same game. The only thing that's different is how you control.
Right.
So why can't I get it for $9 or for $10 on my PS4 if it's the same game? And don't tell me, oh, you can always play it on the iPad or you can always play it on the iPhone. No. I want to play it on my PS4. But I want it to be the same price because it's the same fucking game.
You want freedom. I get it.
That pisses
totally
me off.
Get it.
Because I want to try this game. I don't want to try it at $40.
This is what I want to try too. I'm probably going to be okay playing this on iPad.
Right. So I don't even have an iPad, so
that would make it hard.
I don't want an iPad. I don't like Apple.
That would make it hard.
I don't like Apple
to
products.
play that way. So I don't know.
So yeah,
it's interesting to see if this moves on the iPad, or if because it's been so long, if people have played it the way they want to play it already.
Yeah, I don't know. All I know is I won't play it now because it's still $40 on the system I want to play it on. Pisses me off. There's no reason for that. I could see if it was watered down or something like that, but word is it's the same game.
Yeah.
I don't like that shit.
It'll be interesting to see if it shows up on the charts. I'm going to watch the charts and just see. I want to see if it has any kind of impact.
Yeah, keep
or
an
if
eye
this
on
is,
it. But what do you?
Yeah,
I mean, do you think that same experience should be different prices on different platforms? You personally?
So no, but I understand why it has to be if you want it to sell.
I understand why. Yeah, on the iPad and that.
The internet would have lost their mind if this bitch came out for $39 on
iPad
on phone.
Yeah.
But at the same time, no one even wrote a story when it came out for $20 on the Shield.
Right.
Even though it was a significant price break from what you're playing on PS4.
Right.
I still think this is that whole mobile thing. People aren't totally comfortable or understand what the mobile market is. I don't know, and I'm a part of it. You know.
And I don't play mobile, so
it's just hard. It's hard to say. I don't know. I mean, I get Jonathan Blow's trying to milk every dime he can out of it, and you have to do it $10 at a time versus $40. But it would have been nice to see it drop everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, if it's only worth $10 on an iPad, why isn't that same game only worth $10 on another platform?
But I guess if you wanted to boost, if you want to see it be successful on phones, so when you make your next game, you can say, see how successful we were on phones. You can't drop the price on everything because you and I would then get it on PS4 instead of phone or at all or whatever. But like, if I had a choice to buy between the two, I'd buy it on PS4. But for the price difference, I'll buy it on mobile. You know.
But again, to me, this is something that isn't consumer friendly. So, and anybody who doesn't care about the consumer can fucking stick their head in a hole and get set on fire for all I care. Because I'm the consumer.
Right. In your case, you're the consumer.
And if I wasn't the consumer, I'd still want to do right by the people who are going to buy my product. I understand that money is important. Money isn't all there is. There's things that are more important than money.
You're angry today.
And apparently in the video game world, that's irrelevant. No.
You're angry.
It's only
angry today.
I these kind of things that make me mad. I hate when the little
Let's move on.
I hate when the little man gets shit on just because
let's move on to a
the
happy
big guy
story.
can do it.
Happy story. Our last story. Monster Hunter Worlds is launching worldwide January 2018. And Capcom announced that North America is going to get a digital and a physical collector's edition, $69.99. It includes a digital game plus additional customizable options that can be used in-game. A bunch of skins, gestures, stickers. Not a bunch of skins, I think one skin. 3 gestures, 2 sticker sets, face paint, a hairstyle option, whatever any of that means. The PS4 version of the digital deluxe edition also includes 14 weapon-themed PSN avatars, which everybody loves weapon-themed avatars to get your blood going.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
The digital deluxe edition will also be available for purchase separately on January 26th, which I guess is when the game's finally coming out.
So we finally have a release date.
So that's not what matters here.
No, what matters.
None of what I just told you matters.
I know what matters.
What matters is that in Japan, Sony's releasing a Monster Hunter World themed PS4 Pro model.
It looks fucking cool.
It's the outline of a monster, a silhouette of a monster.
Mm-hmm.
It says Monster Hunter Worlds, really small in the corners, PlayStation logo up top. But then it's got like a
little flash of red, I don't know if that's blood or
is it blood? Is it smoke? Is it?
Yeah, I don't know, but it's red.
Yeah, it's red.
That's what I
now. Again, not really the part that's super important here. The part that's important is this controller that it comes with.
Blood red.
Blood red, maybe even like some brown,
Yeah.
like dark red, like blood clot red.
It might
right?
it might have a little bit of brown in it.
And it's got like these, I guess they're like a monster. It almost looks like roots.
Yeah, veins or...
Veins coming down from on each side, and it's got a crest and like gold leaf.
Yeah, it looks cool.
On one side, and it's got the gold up top where the buttons are. It's just a different looking controller.
I want that controller.
I love all controllers. I want there to be 1,000 different controllers.
I want that controller, yeah.
That's a cool looking controller.
It's a very cool looking. I hope they bring... I don't care if they don't bring the whole PS4 setup over here. I hope they bring that controller over here, because I will snap that bitch up in a heartbeat.
Or yeah, at least you hope that they sell that controller separately over there so that you could scoop it up somewhere. Because if they don't part it out of this bundle, then you'll never get one. But
Right.
surely they would sell it separate, and you can get one on like PlayAsia or Amazon or something like that. It's a cool looking bundle.
Very cool.
That'll do it for the news. If you have opinions or we're wrong about anything or we're right about something, let us know. Podcast at Gamestitch.com or Game_Stitch on Twitter.
Well, I can just tell you right now, I'm right about everything I said. So
Well, there you go. Now it's time for my favorite segment, Gone But Not Forgotten.
It's your turn.
Where we reach back in our gaming past. It is my turn. We tell you about an oldie but a goodie, or maybe just a goodie that we think you missed.
Or maybe it's a shitty that you missed.
Maybe it's a shitty. We hope you look back on it, though, and you let us know what you think. If you have a Gone But Not Forgotten of your own, make sure you hit us up on Twitter using the hashtag GBNF. This week it's my turn. I've picked a doozy.
I'm sure you have. Is this some dumb shit nobody cares about, or is it like...
I don't think so.
Is it really gone but not forgotten?
I think it's Gone But Not Forgotten.
Okay.
Donkey Kong Jungle Beat for the Nintendo GameCube.
Huh. That's a good one.
Yeah, released in North America on March 2005. It came with the bongos.
Yeah.
We were full swing working at GameStop.
Yeah.
When these Donkey Konga 2 was out. We were selling a lot of the used Kongos. They were still in circulation when we were at GameStop.
Yep, I remember them.
And, you know, all the big titles are out there that people loved. You know, people always talk about on the GameCube: Super Mario Sunshine, Sonic Heroes, The Legend of Spyro, you know. But people forget about the Donkey Kong Jungle Beats.
Yeah, the Jungle Beats was pretty neat.
It's entirely solely by the bongos. Drumming left, drumming right, at the same time to make him jump. Sometimes you clap to make things happen in the level.
Yep.
It was 2D side-scroller.
God, I forgot about
and
this game so much.
If you did it right, you had a rhythm going, which is something rare for me. But this game was simple enough, and my brain made it work enough with watching him move on the screen that I kind of had a little rhythm going. Donkey Kong Jungle Beats. If you have the bongos, play it. If you don't, I would say don't even waste your time on YouTube's. You won't understand. Maybe if you find a video with someone playing the bongos.
Right.
But you've got to see that component. You got to hear the claps, the snaps, the slaps, the claps, the snaps, the slaps. You got to hear it all.
Claps, snaps,
Slaps.
slaps. Yeah.
You got to hear them all.
Got to hear them all.
Yeah. Donkey Konga.
Donkey Konga.
That's not right. Donkey Kong Jungle Beats. I think the second one was called Donkey Konga.
It was.
Great name also.
You picked a good one this week. Holy shit.
Yeah, I know. I miss it. I miss that game. I still got the bongos and a copy of this game, and I want to break them out.
I bet you don't.
I think I want to break them out. Remember, if you've got one for us, use the hashtag GBNF in your subject line of your email or as your hashtag on Twitter. You can follow us on social media as I am at Podcast Ryan. Dan is at Shirtless Dan, and together we are at Game_Stitch. Remember, check out our YouTube channel, subscribe to it, hit that little bell so that every time we go live, you get a handy email that says, hey, Gamestitch just went live. These assholes are streaming something right now. And you can jump over there. If you follow us on Twitter, you should also see it. We try to always tweet out before we go live because we're over-delivering, but we're still who we are. We, most of the time, don't give you any heads up that we're going to do it.
We did this week, though.
So, yeah, the Uncharted had a little time heads up. The others, you had like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So we understand that you're not all flexible enough to stop what you're doing and jump on there. That's why we archive those videos over on YouTube. But also, you know, we're just going to do so many of them that you're bound to catch us at some point.
You know, I got to be honest. I like the streaming part thing is kind of fun.
Uh-huh.
It's kind of fun to commentate your own gameplay, which is essentially what you're doing.
I had so much fun playing Uncharted, I forgot we were streaming.
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah. So much fun that I forgot that we were even streaming.
I mean, there's probably long periods of time where I don't even say anything.
Because you thought it was just you and I.
Right. Right.
Yeah, it was a great time. Check that out. And like I said, we'll have more to come. And also, if you're a patron, over at patreon.com/Gamestitch, the newsletter. You'll be seeing it soon.
It's coming soon.
Coming soon.
Coming soon.
To an inbox near you.
That's right. That's what I was
All you have to do is subscribe.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
All you have to do is subscribe over at patreon.com/Gamestitch at any tier. But for those who just subscribe at the $10 tier, they earn a shout out each week. They can supply us with a shout out. If they don't, we supply them with one.
Mm-hmm. We do it ourselves.
We do it for you. We shout out for you. I don't think we had any shout outs this week.
We did not, but we did have a question.
Okay. Hit me. So, was a question from one of the people who earns a shout out?
Yes.
So, we'll make that a shout out. Hit me with that, and then I'll supply the other one.
Sure. This is coming from our good buddy Garrett Wade.
Okay.
He's kind of piggybacking off of the fact that I got my dream car last weekend.
The El Camino, for anyone who wasn't listening.
Yep. He says, I've always wanted a Dodge Viper, a 69 El Camino, and a Mazda RX-8. What are your dream cars / trucks? #AskGSP.
Whew. I'll tell you what I like about his selection. One of those, totally different bracket as far as cost.
As far as the Viper?
Yeah. Like, there's really no such thing as a cheap Viper.
No, you don't find them cheap. There's no such thing as a cheap 69 El Camino, really. Unless you're really, really lucky.
Right. But you could...
But an RX-8 you could pick up relatively.
Yeah.
You know.
I'll say... I love tons and tons of old cars.
Mm-hmm.
My grandfather had a Ford F-100. When he got dementia, he actually had it crushed. I would love to build one of those trucks, kind of the way that one was, just because that would be special to me. But if you told me I had all the money I wanted, I could go buy whatever car I wanted. I'd probably go get a 1965 21-window VW bus. It's probably what I would go get. And I know that that's not a cool car, but it is to me, and they're fucking outrageous.
Outrageously priced.
Outrageous. Like, we're talking probably more than Viper money.
Mm-hmm.
Way more than Viper money, I would say.
Probably.
So that's what I would get if I could go get one car with no price attached to it.
So that's it? You just have one?
I mean, I've got a ton, but, I just...
Okay.
That's the one.
Gotcha. Okay, that's fair.
I also really always wanted a 69 GTO.
Okay. Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah, I've always wanted one of those, but again, they're not on the same level as the bus. If I could have the fucking bus,
right,
that would be like the holy grail. Afraid to drive it nice.
Gotcha. Well, mine, honestly enough, is pretty close to what I have. For a long time, it was any El Camino. Well, now I've got an 85. So my dream V1 car that I'd want to have, V1 car, would be a 1972 El Camino SS. That would be my dream car. But I've also got a few others on there. Like if money was no object and I could buy a couple more cars. One would be a 1978 Datsun 280Z. And I would also pick like an probably 83, 84 Chevy Scottsdale pickup. I don't know if you remember the Scottsdales, but they got the very boxy truck, short front end, regular size front end, shorter bed. It's part of the K1500 line, but it was labeled as the Scottsdale. Those would be mine. Nothing cool there. Believe it or not, those Scottsdales and those Datsuns are expensive. And actually,
I don't doubt it.
So is a 72 Camino. El Camino, actually, is very expensive. But those would be, nothing super cool there, but cool to me, so fuck you.
So I told you my grandfather crushed it. When he would have never let those cars go, but he started to lose his mind, and somebody took advantage of it, and he did it. But one of the cars that he had given me already, that when I got to a place where I could fix it up, was a 1953 Buick Special 2-door straight 8.
Ooh.
And I still have a piece of the trim off the side of that car. I actually have the left and the right trim off that car.
What happened to the car?
He crushed it when he crushed everything else.
Oh, okay.
Some dude showed up, offered him money per car, and then went through and cleaned them all out. And he was just not even in his right mind when he made that decision. And my grandmother always wanted the property cleaned up, so she was all for it.
I gotcha.
But he would have never done that. I mean, that was everything he'd ever... My grandfather loved junk, and that was everything that he had ever had throughout his life.
Right.
But it was black, and it was fucking beautiful. And it was actually in a wooded area where it had stayed away from the elements. It had a little bit of surface rust. It was fairly good shape. But yeah, gone.
That sucks.
Gone. But not forgotten.
That sucks.
So yeah, great question.
So good question, Garrett. That's also going to be a shout out. So
yeah, I'm going to go full inspirational for Thomas here.
Okay.
One of those quotes you hear all the time, but do something today that makes you better tomorrow.
What?
Yeah, leave it at that. Do something today that makes you better tomorrow. It's real easy to get lazy.
Yep.
Like, especially with work, you come home, you're tired, you don't want to do anything.
I'm cool with that.
Yeah, I mean, I used to be. I'm getting to where I'm not. Like, I want to do something. Like, even if it's not anything, like, not saying go run. Fuck that. What I'm saying is, like, even if you watch a YouTube video on how to do something you don't know, like, just don't ever stop.
I mean, that's
don't
fine.
Stop.
I mean, I understand that. And here's my problem with that statement is, for me, I feel like being lazy today does make me better tomorrow.
I mean, if you feel that way, then I would say that's fine. But I try to watch a video that's out of my comfort zone. Like, I'll watch somebody, I don't know, rebuild a refrigerator or do something like that. Even though I don't want to do that, like, I just feel like I'm trying to learn something. Because I think it's really easy to not learn anything and just to read filth all day long. Mm-hmm. Which I do that too. I want to be clear. I read TMZ several times a day. I love the filth.
You are a TMZ junkie.
I'm just trying to do something to further me as a human being. And I don't mean physically, because fuck that.
Because fuck that.
Perfectly fine being overweight. No problem with that.
Hey, that's good.
But I don't want to I don't want to be like, the person I am today is all I am forever. Like, I don't think that's good either. And I know people have been exactly the same person for like 8 years. They're great at the thing they do. That's all they do.
Right.
I'm just trying not to be that. And Thomas is trying to have you not be that. So if you disagree, you're disagreeing with Thomas, not with me. It was his shout out.
I'm not disagreeing with anybody.
You're disagreeing with Thomas.
I'm not. If Thomas would have said that, I would wholeheartedly agree. And that was Thomas' shout out. So I wholeheartedly agree.
His shout out? That's gross and different.
It's a shout out.
If you want your own shout out, head over to patreon.com/Gamestitch. Support us at the $10 tier. And remember, if you don't give us one, we'll give you one for you. And today it was inspirational. Most of the time it's bullshit. Next week it'll probably be bullshit.
Yeah. Probably.
Can't go too inspirational. For everyone that listens, everyone that tells their buddies about us, their friends, their co-workers, thank you. We appreciate you. We love you. Play some games with you.
Yeah.
Keep doing streams for you. Keep doing this podcast for you. And thank you.
Grassy ass.
Grassy ass. Doesn't sound good.
What, grassy ass?
Yeah, think about like if you go sliding down a hill or something, maybe you got a pair of basketball shorts on, and it pulls them down, and you get the grass stain on your ass.
Yeah, I know it.
Mm-hmm. I don't want that.
No?
Time for a quick story. I'm going to end on a high note here.
Okay.
I don't even know if I've told this story before.
Probably.
I was young. I was in my prime. Probably 21. Probably not even 21. I think we got X's on our hands still. So we go to Nashville to a club.
Okay.
And I'm feeling good, you know. We've dressed up. I look nice, you know. Who knows what the night will bring? Probably, and we're all like 18, 19. So we probably smell like a ball of cologne, as you do when you're younger and think that's what people want. We got button up on. We probably all look the same. I'm wearing a pair of Birkenstocks just to paint everybody a visual.
Oh yeah.
Jeans a little ripped up, probably. Not tucked, American Eagle button up. So we get there. It's raining fucking piss and rain outside. And we got a little bit of a walk. You know, it's Nashville. We got to walk to the place we're going.
Mm-hmm.
So we get out, we're walking. We park at I want to think that we went to strip club Deja Vu. I think we were leaving the car there, but we decided to go to like a real club.
Yeah.
We were gonna walk, so it was like a little bank down. We're raining. I go last. Everybody goes down there. I go last. The Birkenstocks were a friend of mine's that he had left at my house. I just claimed. He got a new pair. These were totally slick on the bottom. So I touch half a foot down on this bank, and I immediately just feet out from underneath me.
Bite it.
My head smacks the back, like you see football players' head smack the turf.
Uh-huh.
That's what my head did, but I was on a muddy bank. Slid all the way down. Total brown streak from hair to like ankle.
Okay. So,
and we just got there.
So.
Like, we just got there. It was bad. Like, I think what had happened was I had there was another shirt in the car that we brought, so I changed the shirt. I washed my hair out as much as possible, but I had the brown streak pants on. I only had the one pair of pants with me.
You just went ahead and...
Yeah, I mean, clubs are dark. You're just the brown house guy.
Right.
It's fine. It is what it is. I felt insecure most of the night, but I mean...
Oh, shit.
I didn't want to screw my friend's fun up, but yeah, that was a great night for me. A real high point.
I'm glad you had fun.
This has been episode 245 of the official Gamestitch Podcast, and we'll see you next week, same time, same place. Good night.
Good night.